situation. So thank you so very much, Ms. Aset, for being with us. Over to you.
Thank you very much for having me here, and thanks. I would like to thank all the organizers of this event. I prefer to continue on a positive note because I think any positive change comes with a change in the vision, and I think it's important to support the positive vision and to use the right terms and to have the good intentions and to have the right intentions. Now, I would like just to start talking about this vision of Chechnya here in the United States and generally in the West. Chechnya and the wider North Caucasus has been treated here in the West and in the United States as Russia's backyard. Even after the collapse of the Soviet Union, this perspective did not change. And the Clinton's policy, Russia first, and then all other post-Soviet republics, neglected what truly happened in the Eastern Europe, especially in North Caucasus. And unfortunately, the democracy did not survive in Russia, although despite the Western efforts to support its democratic transition following the collapse of the Soviet Union. So the democracy in Russia did not survive. It ended when Russia started the war in Chechnya. It ended when Russia started, when Putin took power, transformed Russia into an authoritarian state, when Putin came to power, blowing up civil buildings in Moscow. So democracy did not survive in Russia. And it's very important to change the vision and to start treating Chechnya and the North Caucasus not as part of Russia, but as part of the grand chessboard, of the Eurasia. Because North Caucasus, it's not just a small republic. If we take the territory, it covers 355,000 square kilometers. And the ethnicities of the North Caucasus are completely different from Russian ethnicities. It is rich in natural resources, including gas, oil, minerals, and we have the vital access to both the Black Sea and the Caspian Sea, and of course the pipelines that are originating from the Caspian Sea. And we have 15 million population, and it's time to recognize that the North Caucasus is not Russia's backyard, and that we have a potential to become a valuable partner for the United States. And the North Caucasus is on the crossroads of Europe, Middle East, and Europe, Middle East, and Central Asia. So when we see China expanding its influence in Central Asia, which is completely close to us, to the North Caucasus, I think it's time for the United States to increase its presence, to influence in the North Caucasus, to support the pro-democracy forces in North Caucasus, and to foster the political and economic ties with the peoples of North Caucasus, and especially with the government of the Chechen Republic of Ichkeria. And talking about the government of the Chechen Republic of Ichkeria, which I find is very important, it is the only legitimate government. It is the only legitimate force that represents the Chechen state, that represents the will of the Chechen people. And the Chechen government was elected after the collapse of the Soviet Union in 1990, after the Chechen people expressed its free will to be independent, to be sovereign, to live in a sovereign state. And our leader, the Prime Minister of Chechen Republic of Ichkeria, Aset Sabb, he is the witness of everything, of all the political processes that occurred in Chechnya since 1990. And he wrote actually excellent books about how the Chechen state was shaped. And these books, the first one is the Subjugate or Exterminate. The second book is Russia West in Chechnya from 2002 to 2016. So our leader, he is a very competent leader. He knows exactly how the process has happened. He was there since the beginning. And you know, my professor used to say, if you want to know how the person thinks, read his books, read his thoughts. And his books can be found on the shelves of the best universities around the world, on the shelves of the libraries of Harvard University, of Princeton University, Cambridge University, Oxford University. So we have competent people in our government. Now, it's important for the Western side to see these competent people, to see that our government is a legitimate government, and to treat and to try to foster the ties, you know, political ties, diplomatic ties with our government, and recognize our government. Why? Because it will send a powerful message to other authoritarian states that the U.S. is supporting pro-democracy forces, that the U.S. is supporting people who are struggling, who are seeking liberty, and not supporting the regimes who are trying to suppress these liberties. So this is one thing. Now, another thing, also talking about the vision, here in the West, the Chechen resistance, the national liberation movement in the West has been often labeled as, you know, a separatist guerrilla. But this is completely wrong, because the Chechen Republic of Ichkeria was never a separatist guerrilla. If you take the word separatist, séparé, it's a French word which means you're separating from someone. We never separated from Russian Federation because we were never part of the Russian Federation. And I think the biggest mistake when we talk about the Russian Federation, to think that the Russian Federation constitutes the 15 republics that were formed, that intentionally signed the federal treaty with Russia. Chechen Republic of Ichkeria was never signed the federal treaty. So including Chechen Republic, when we talk about the territorial integrity of Russia, including Chechen Republic in the Federation, it's completely wrong. Not only that, the Chechen Republic of Ichkeria adopted its constitution in 1992, 1 year earlier than the Russian Federation. The Chechen Republic of Ichkeria, the only thing it signed with Russia is the peace treaty in 1997, where both states were recognized as the subjects of the international law. And this is the only document that defines the relations. And this document is published on the website of the United Nations. And Russia, by signing this treaty with us, Russia de facto recognized our state. And there is even, you know, Professor Francis Boyle from Illinois University, he's an expert in international relations. He said that by signing the peace treaty with Chechen Republic of Ichkeria, Russia de facto recognized it as a state.